What if I told you that there's one financial milestone that quietly decides whether you struggle for decades or flip into a life where money works harder than you? It's not $1 million, not a paid-off mortgage, not even a huge salary. It's your first $100,000. That's it. In a world of social media flexing, luxury trips, and million-dollar homes, $100,000 can sound small. But it's the wall between financial struggle and momentum. The difference between pushing a boulder uphill and chasing it downhill. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Getting there is brutal. It's the hardest money you'll ever save. But cross that line and everything changes. Your savings and investments begin to snowball. Your returns start to match and then beat your contributions, and the path ahead gets easier. Charlie Munger said it best. The first $100,000 is tough, but you gotta do it. I don't care what you have to do. Walk everywhere and eat beans. Just get there. In this video, we'll cover why the first $100,000 feels impossible, the tipping point where everything flips, the mindset shift once you're over the wall, practical strategies to hit it faster, and finally, one powerful mental hack most people miss. By the end, you'll know exactly why this milestone matters and what you can do starting today to reach it. Here's my question for you, and I want you to leave your answer in the comments. If you woke up tomorrow with $100,000 in your account, what would you do differently with your life? Meet Alex. He's 29, earning about $62,000, serious about saving. He packs lunch, skips big nights out, drives an older car. After years of effort, he's built $18,000 in savings and investments. Sounds good, right? But Alex feels stuck. Every month he invests $500. After a year, that's $6,000 of his money, and at roughly 7% average returns on those contributions, only about $300 in growth. $300 after a whole year feels like filling a pool with a teaspoon. Psychologically, it stings. Friends post trips. Co-workers upgrade cars. He's doing everything right, but the scoreboard barely moves. That's when the doubts creep in. Am I just built for average? Is this even worth it? This is where most people stop. They assume it'll be this slow forever. What they don't realize is they're still in the grind phase. The stage where you do most of the work and compound interest is just jogging behind you. Here's the math. Save $10,000 a year at 7%, and you'll hit $100,000 in about 7.8 years. Early on, almost all the growth comes from your own contributions. Year 1, $10,000 saved, plus about $350 in returns. Year 3, $30,000 saved, plus about $3,000 in returns. Year 5, $50,000 saved, plus about $7,500 in returns. It's slow. It's frustrating. It's the "am I even making progress" stage. Not because the math fails, but because psychology does. We live on instant gratification. Wealth is delayed gratification. It's like the gym. 3 weeks in, you feel sore but don't look different. Months, even years later, you look back and the change is obvious. Think of two dials: contributions and compounding. In the beginning, the contributions dial does 90% of the work, while compounding barely flickers. If you keep turning the first dial long enough, the second starts humming, then roaring. The rule of 72 makes it intuitive. At about 7%, money doubles roughly every 10 years. Early on, a double on $5,000 or $12,000 only adds a few thousand, so it barely moves the needle. Later, a double on $100,000 to $200,000 or $250,000 to $500,000 is massive, and it feels like rocket fuel. Those early dollars are invisible work, pouring the foundation that supports the floors above. Quit here, and you never see the flip. So, what is the tipping point? It's the moment when your returns begin to compete with, and then surpass, your contributions. At $100,000 invested with a 7% return, your money makes about $7,000 a year, nearly $600 a month, without you lifting a finger. That can cover a car payment, half your rent, or your groceries. And here's where it gets exciting. Your second $100,000 takes about 5.1 years. The third, about 3.8 years. The fourth, around 3 years. Why? Now compound interest is doing all the heavy lifting. Imagine you're pushing a snowball up a steep hill. In the beginning, every push feels like a workout. The thing barely moves. You keep straining, step after step, just to make a little progress. But once you finally reach the top and give it one last push, gravity kicks in. Suddenly, the snowball starts rolling downhill on its own. Faster, bigger, picking up speed and weight without you having to touch it. That's what 100,000 does for your finances. It shifts you from the exhausting uphill grind to the exhilarating downhill momentum. To make this real, picture two investors. One has 20,000, the other has 100,000. Both add 10,000 a year at a 7% return. After year one, the 20,000 investor grows to 31,400, an increase of 11,400. The 100,000 investor grows to 117,000, an increase of 17,000. Same effort, same time, vastly different results. That's the magic of hitting the wealth momentum point. If that flip just clicked, hit like so YouTube shows this to someone stuck in the grind. And if you want real-world money strategies that actually work, subscribe so you never miss a MindCraft breakdown. All right, back to it. Something else changes at 100,000 that you can't see on a chart. Your mindset. You stop seeing dollars as spending money and start seeing them as seeds. You've proven you can delay gratification. That muscle, discipline, separates lifelong savers from lifelong spenders. You also gain options. With a six-figure base, you can take a calculated career risk. You can negotiate without fear. You can invest in opportunities paycheck to paycheck folks can't touch. You sleep better. Unexpected bills feel like annoyances, not emergencies. Most importantly, the fear softens. It's like moving from a raft to a ship. The waves don't get smaller. You just stop panicking. Optionality is the quiet dividend your balance pays you every day. Back to Alex. After years in the grind, he hits 100,000 at age 37. Nothing flashy changes, but everything does. The following year, his investments earn about 7,200 in returns, more than his raise. 3 years later, he's over 140,000. Now, yearly returns add more than he contributes himself. That's the moment money clocks in for Alex. He isn't just working for money anymore. Money is working for him. It doesn't feel loud, it feels safe. Like finally switching from survival mode to strategy mode. Reaching 100,000 doesn't have to be a decade-long slog. If you focus on the right levers, you can cut years off your timeline. These are the 3 levers I recommend pulling. Hard. Lever 1, the income engine. Yes, budgeting matters. But let's be real. There's a limit to how much you can save, but no limit to how much you can earn. The fastest wealth builders are the ones who aggressively grow their income. Maximize free money by capturing every dollar of employer match in your 401k or retirement plan. Upgrade your skills. Learn things that make companies and clients need you. Data analysis, coding, sales, design. High-value skills that move you into higher income brackets. Stack multiple income streams. Freelance, consult, launch a small side business, or monetize a hobby. Even an extra $500 a month can shave years off your 100,000 goal. Lever 2, the Big 3 cut. Ignore the $1 coupon wins and attack the budget bosses: housing, transportation, food. Housing, downsize, get a roommate, renegotiate rent, relocate if it pencils out. Transportation, avoid new car loans, drive reliable, keep insurance optimized. Food, meal prep, cook at home, and treat eating out as a special event, not a default habit. Trim $500 a month here, and you've freed $6,000 a year to invest, worth hundreds of thousands over time. Lever 3, the autopilot investor. For most people, the smartest play is boring, low-cost index funds. But boring doesn't mean slow. Automate everything. Set recurring transfers into your investment accounts so building wealth becomes default behavior, not a monthly decision. Use tax-advantaged accounts like 401ks, Roth IRAs, or HSAs to keep more of your returns and pay less in taxes. Stay consistent in all markets. Downturns are your friend. You're buying assets on sale. How stacking these looks in real life. Alex adds a $500 a month side income, cuts $200 from housing by getting a roommate, $150 from insurance and phone, and $150 from food waste. That's plus $1,000 a month to invest, $12,000 a year. At that pace, starting from zero, $100,000 is roughly 7 years at 7%. And Alex already has $18,000, which pulls his timeline down to about 5 to 6 years, depending on market swings. 1 year of aggressive changes can reclaim multiple years of compounding. Staring at $100,000 can feel like looking up a cliff. Instead, control what you can: your savings rate and consistency. If you can lock in a 20 to 30% savings rate and stick to it no matter what, the math will take care of itself. Some months will feel like progress is crawling, but the habit is what builds the foundation, not the one-time wins. Use the milestone ladder to stay motivated. 10,000, foundation poured. 25,000, first real layer of bricks. 50,000, halfway to the wealth momentum point. 100,000, the top of the mountain. Stay consistent. Make it easy. Automate it. Transfers the day you get paid. Add speed bumps. Hide cards from shopping sites. Use a 24-hour rule on purchases. Tiny rewards. Celebrate milestones with low-cost treats so saving feels good. Track it visually. A simple chart on your fridge or phone makes progress tangible. Celebrate each checkpoint. The grind phase is temporary. Winners keep walking while others turn back. Past 100,000, the snowball is obvious. At 500,000 invested, 7% is 35,000 a year in returns, more than triple a 10,000 annual contribution. At 1 million, that's 70,000 a year, 7 times your contribution, enough to replace a solid income. Reinvested dividends and steady contributions turn your portfolio into a machine. Your contributions are the crank, returns are the engine. Past 100,000, the engine starts overpowering the crank. That's why patience is profitable. Time upgrades effort into inevitability. If you ever doubt it, compare 2 bars on a chart. What I added versus what my money earned. In the early years, your bar wins. Later, your money's bar dwarfs yours, and it keeps widening, even in years when you contribute less. You don't need a perfect background, a 6-figure salary, or genius-level IQ to reach 100,000. You need consistency, patience, and the willingness to push through the grind phase until you hit the wealth momentum point. Alex didn't start rich. Neither did Charlie Munger. Neither did millions of people who quietly built wealth while the world wasn't watching. The first 100,000 is the hardest and the most important. Cross it, and your question changes from, how can I make more money? To, what do I do with all the money my money makes for me? Your turn. What's your 100,000 game plan? Drop it in the comments. And if this video helped, tap the like and subscribe for more MindCraft breakdowns. And when you're ready to level up, watch The #1 Wealth Killer and How to Manage Your Money Like the 1%. This is MindCraft, where ideas become action and action becomes your future.